Welcome to the director's chair, gamers. I'm Dani, and it's time to film a major motion picture. Today, we're finishing Super Metroid, starring Samantha and Rob. Our lead actors today do not know that they're in this film. And that's kind of the point. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to apologize for the first half of the video. The video frame is a little bit off. There were some technical difficulties, and so part of the frame got completely cut off in the recording. This will sort itself out some way through the video, but I just didn't notice when I was recording part of it. So that's on me. That being said, I hope you guys really enjoy. I really enjoyed this game, and I really enjoyed filming this video. Toodles! Wacky Jacks.
But no, some of the coolest shit is in Meridia. Also a big fan of Wrecked Ship.
Yeah?
Which is an area that you could go to right now. From
Because
where you
that's the thing that's in Criteria, right?
Yeah, it's just to the right of Criteria.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't get into there because there was like the water blocking the way and whatnot.
Yeah, but you could grapple over it. There is a sequence break you can do to get in there early, but for all intents and purposes, you need the grapple beam.
It's pretty cool. No, it's a neat series. I was looking back at the videos, and I made a lot of mistakes when playing this series. Not least of which was the circumstances under which I decided to record most of the episodes. You know, I know this isn't an excuse for most things, but truly it is extremely different to be playing a game on camera than off camera, you know? Like,
I do agree. There's something that I missed in the first episode of Final Fantasy VIII that I am super upset at myself for missing, and it's because I was focused on the fact that we were recording aspect of it.
You're recording, you're trying to talk to the other person and be entertained, and there, even if it's like, because it does help to have like other people around, you know, to be able to like mitigate the degree to which you have to like concentrate, you know. But even then, there's still, at least for me, there's still even just like a little bit of a voice in the back of my head thinking like, what do you know, what's going on? And just kind of like trying to keep track of all the crap everywhere. And there's so much crap everywhere. But your favorite is Fusion, right? Fusion looks really good. I would love to play Fusion, or at least graphically. I like the graphics.
I hold Fusion and Super on like the same level, I guess.
Really? Yeah.
I like them for different reasons. That's mostly why. Because I think Fusion is good in a lot of the ways that Super isn't, and vice versa. If
really?
That makes any
Interesting.
sense.
Like in what sense, for example?
Fusion has a lot. Fusion is a lot more linear and in some ways kind of hand-holdy. And it has in a lot of ways, truly, this is gonna sound very me to say, but I kind of don't always love Metroid games having a ton of modern fixings. Because I truly think that the getting lost and the running out of missiles and the X and the Y and the Z and stuff, and not always fully having a grasp of everything is part of what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
Because it keeps you on your toes and it keeps you guessing and whatnot. And there really isn't as much room for that in Fusion, but Fusion has like a way more cohesive narrative, and it has, you know, modern fixings and quality of life stuff, and it's a lot less complicated to do simple things, you know, I feel.
Yeah.
In Fusion.
Do they?
in
Because
Blood
I
and
know
Blue.
like a lot of the basic movement. It's a franchise. Like a lot of the basic stuff stays the same throughout
Well,
it.
yeah, a lot of the basic stuff is the same, but it's simple things like how you use your missiles compared to in Super Metroid,
Right.
or like how things like you don't need to hold down a button to use things like the speed booster, and which I personally don't mind in Super Metroid. A lot of it's just different strokes for different folks' situation.
Seems like a
Um,
series that's just kind of gone through a lot.
and aesthetically, a lot of it's again different strokes for different folks. I think that the vibe of Super Metroid and the general different the 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 ways in which the aesthetics of each game are internally cohesive um, feeds on a different aspect of the series design, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Or like I think that Super Metroid's aesthetic and cohesion, and in some cases lack of cohesion, I think very effectively conveys, the the foreignness and alienness, and helps contribute to the, you're lost and you're exploring this planet and such. Whereas Fusion has a much more calculated, um, a lot more like, you know, it tells you where you go. It's like this is the X and the Y and the Z, and it's very connected, and the ways in which it is connected are very intentional. And it sort of it's focused. Both I think are focused well on different areas of uh, kind of Metroidvania design, if that makes sense.
No, I
I
think
don't know.
that is very interesting. A lot of the stuff, there's a lot of stuff I've harped on. There's stuff I stand to that, it's just not for me. And there's stuff that I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I do kind of get where you're coming from with some of the getting lost stuff and you want to feel like in an unknown place to a certain extent, you know. And I think that's very interesting. Um, I am very curious about Dread. I do think, you say modern fixings. I do pretty much, I think, generally know what you mean by that. Because, like, there are some things, modern fixings, of course, that I'm like, I mean, it's just better to have this. But there's also, like, kind of what you're talking about with, like, the, there's something that adds to to what kind of the game is actually going for, which is to make you feel a little bit lost, um, and a little bit like you are, Samus, and you're stuck on a planet where you don't know where anything is, you know, and there's some amount of that which really contributes to the overall aesthetic of the game, which I think is true, and I don't know if I think Super Metroid hits the perfect balance on, because like I think like I feel like you want some modern fixings. You can still have some of that convenience and be there, but it's like, well, how do you use like good game mechanics and good game design to emulate some of that stuff that was previously best emulated by like just kind of throwing things at the wall a little bit, and people having to figure things out before because there was no precedent for them and because they hadn't figured out the exact most convenient way to do them. But that adds a certain amount of to the discovery and the satisfaction of finding them.
I don't know. I unironically don't think that Super Metroid needs. I I don't know. Some of the things that you would complain about when we talked about the game when we were recording and whatever, I would be like, yeah, okay. legitimately some of it was like, no, like it's fine the way it is.
And it probably is, but you know,
The map's fine. It's not the map's fine. The jumping's fine.
why
Like,
not
I
make
don't
the
know,
map better?
some of the stuff.
Why not make the map better? I think jumping, it's just the way the series does it. Fine. Why not make the map better?
I don't know. I think it would detract from, because this is something that I've always just kind of, it's why I always am like, Rob, stop. You know, whenever he's like, I got a 100%. I mean, Fusion's a different type of case, but it's like, you know, sorry, I have something in my throat.
Okay. Is it a cock?
I wish. Talking
Just
about
just a
Metroid
funny
while
humor.
While
One of those
I'm slobbing
funny
on someone's knob.
just giving head and also being like,
optimal.
well, my favorite thing about Super Metroid, the thing about Super Metroid.
Super Metroid. But anyway.
So that's what I say to the Super Metroid.
What the fuck was I gonna? The map.
I've properly distracted you.
Well, anyway, to me, the I don't. There really isn't much that I can say besides I think that the map is perfectly functional within the game.
I mean, I think it's functional. But I
think that it is neat in Fusion and Zero Mission and presumably in Dread when you can see things like which items on the map you haven't nabbed. But I legitimately think that if you were to like remaster Super Metroid or something, that I would not want that to be implemented.
That's a fair opinion.
I think that a level of uncertainty is pretty dope in a game like that.
Maybe, I don't know. I think for the map specifically, I see no problem with it. But because like that's the exact kind of thing that if there was a remake, I'd be like that'd be sick. Just kind of make it more updated and cool looking, and
you know, the closest thing
and
that
let
I would
you zoom and see the whole thing, zoom in and out of the map. Like,
I don't personally mind that, but I could certainly see that
like,
being. See that's different to me. That to me is like, okay, yeah, some things that
that's
are
my largest complaint about the map.
But I don't think that there's much that I would call bad game design in Super Metroid. I was just gonna say
I don't call a lot of it bad game design. Really, I most of it I consider it to just be choices or you know, ways in which the control scheme works that I have trouble with and that I don't completely vibe with because I have trouble with them.
If I could just say one more thing about the map though, the one thing that I would accept, because this is gonna be my Morrowind brain talking for a minute, but the one thing that I think I would be like, okay, this is fine, is if they were to, for a potential, if they were to make Super Metroid today, I don't think I would like for it to be like the way that Fusion and Zero Mission do. But I wouldn't mind if you could set like a waypoint or several, in like a Hollow Knight sort of way, because I think that would that to me would sort of satisfy.
I agree with that. I think
aspect of it
truly,
and still have it be like. Okay,
I enjoy having like kind of some of that checkpointy stuff. Like I don't want to go on a tangent about Morrowind. Sorry. Feel free to. Feel free to.
Well, if you insist.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not really quest markers in that game. you have to do a lot of the mapping itself in that game is like a puzzle. It's a puzzle unto itself. You have to
Yeah,
you know,
you did kind of mention that. You have kind of talked about that a bit in the past.
I think that
Which
it is so neat.
I think that can be a cool thing. I do like a very satisfying map that builds out over time, though. That is just something like there's something very
Well,
satisfying about it. And
what I am getting at though is that what's great about it to me is that you're kind of the map filling out force. Like the game, the game doesn't just fill up. It's not like the fucking Skyrim map that just fills up with, a whole shit ton of points that are just like XYZ, fort whatever, this random bitch's tomb. But it's like the shit that's relevant to your quest is the shit that you're gonna, make note of, and you have to like, I think it's so neat.
Yeah, it kind of closer to like some of the map marker systems that are used in.
Yeah, almost in like a what I wish Breath of the Wild did kind of way, or what I wish I had done in Breath of the Wild kind of way. But no, I don't know. Maps are fun.
Maps are great. I love maps. Iconically. I have been known, on occasion, I don't know if you know this.
Dani, I was there for 30 episodes of Hollow Knight. I do know.
And weren't they a great 30 episodes of Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
Were they not? I think they were splendid. For the most part.
I'm a big fan of episodes 23 and on.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Aren't we clever?
We're fucking funny as shit.
Aren't we clever? If only we were recording this.
God, comedy fucking gold.
Gosh, so much comedy
Get me
gold
talking
wasted
about
every
maps.
day. I find it so funny that Isabel, because I think at the episode Isabel was complaining about the I think in the episode Isabel was complaining about the way that that the like suit looked in Metroid, and part of me was also like, well, I've seen it before, but I know this isn't the prettiest version of Samus's suit, and I was thinking of like the orange one. I'm like, where's the orange one coming? And then we got the one suit, and I'm like, there it is. That's what I'm used to seeing, and I'm like, that looks great.
It's funny that the Varia suit's the iconic one. I guess it is the more interesting looking. Big Gravity suit fan myself.
Big Gravity suit fan?
It's purple.
Really?
Yes.
That sounds pretty cool. I like purple.
I think it looks real neat in Super Metroid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm ready to go. Just let me know when the intro, when to do the intro.
Okay. Dani, are you set up? Are you all good?
I'll be like literally 5 seconds. Except figuratively.
You know what? I can just tell you what the intro is gonna be. No.
You don't have to spoil it. No, you can give me your funny bit in the moment.
Okay.
I'll
Sure.
grin and bear it. As I do all the chicanery that goes on here.
Never even seen any of it.
Chicanery.
The chicanery.
Well, I tolerate it passively. Anyway, you may start, Rob. You can start.
Wait, I haven't even started the recording yet.
What?
Yeah, well, once the recording's up, then I'll...
Okay, you can start now, Rob.
Rather unprofessional.
Hey, Dani, do you want to record a series on Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland in, like, a couple days?
In, like, a couple days? Samantha and I were having a very interesting discussion about Metroid the other day.
Oh,
Oh,
Talking about like we were talking about like right like Metroid maps and power suits and stuff like that with different
yeah, that's
suits.
true. I remember. We
what was the
rock
context?
paper scissors. Come on, you love rock.
I do like rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Do you
What was the context of the conversation?
the context of it? Oh well, man. I mean, I guess we were just talking about Metroid, and one thing led to another, and it was crazy. You know, I mean, just totally insane. I mean, I was mind blown. I don't even know what was happening really. I was just engaging. It was more of a spiritual thing, really. Really, more than anything.
Oh, oh, you guys started recording Dread.
No.
No.
That'd be crazy. I would not record Metroid content without you, Rob. Trust me when I say
Oh, I appreciate that.
that any Metroid content from here on out, any single Metroid video that comes out, you're gonna be in it, and that's a certified Dani promise.
Certified
Okay.
diver of fact.
Okay, I'm glad to know that fills me with an amount of confidence.
Hey, there's the mayor's house. He lives in the middle of a... What is this, like a solar farm?
I guess the mayor lives in the middle of a solar farm.
You'd know if you were paying attention.
I'm playing Metroid.
Yeah, he's
I
playing
guess
Metroid.
not.
I can attest. I'm seeing Metroid being played. You know,
Man,
Whatever.
when the Metroid
Slowly.
when the Metroid Dread playthrough eventually drops, everyone's gonna be getting on your case because you acted like you didn't know any of the things when you clearly watched Rob play it
I
in that one
did
episode
clear.
of.
You know, it is a bad PR decision to admit that I'm watching it right now on camera on a different video that is gonna go up on the channel certainly. You know, that's on me. That is on me.
Oh well,
You know what?
we'll
That's
we'll
my
figure
own
out
faux
the
pas, and
press
I'm just
like
gonna have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to
we'll
live
we'll
with it.
figure
You know?
out we'll
Like, that's
figure out
just
the
the
press
kind of stuff.
issue later.
The the PR disaster that this is. And it is a PR disaster.
Everything has fallen apart. We will never be able to record again.
Now, of course, Metroid Dread is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
From the announcement trailer, which is the only trailer I've seen.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
I could have sworn I'd told you, but yeah, that's the only one I've seen.
Not upsell.
Still eating chicken. So something I noticed from my time playing Super Metroid is that I didn't really notice like there wasn't a lot of events that occurred. You know,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
has like shown up on the channel, right at this point.
Right. You have events like the bosses and like that one boss that like crashes through the wall as a skeleton.
That's like the most momentous thing that happened during my playthrough. Like I remember like, that's like the thing that like happened, and I was like, that's a thing. Like, whoa.
There's certainly a moment in Super that you have not gotten to yet.
Do you have a
And
favorite moment in Super?
Oh yes. There's some cool stuff
Really?
that happens in Super.
Is it like
Uh
the ending or is it something else?
It's the one of them is the ending, yes. There's another one. it's not a moment as much as it is a really cool game mechanic.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not a game mechanic. It's like, I don't know how to describe it without just spoiling.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it.
There's
Let's talk some game design. Probably never gonna
oh,
finish that game anyway.
that's right. Um, okay, so they're in Super Metroid. There is a there's a sequence in which you kind of have to there's a area in Norfair. It's shortly after you get Screw Attack.
Really?
Yeah. Have you done that yet?
Have I gotten Screw Attack?
Yeah.
Samantha.
What do you want me to say?
You want to answer that question?
Screw.
No, we don't have screw attack. We never got past the grapple beam.
Okay, so
That's what she said.
there's a sequence where you the magma in Norfair is like erupts, and you have to like escape from Norfair using Screw Attack while the lava is rising.
Really?
It's real cool.
Man.
And that
sounds
was a
sick.
cool moment. It's neat. It's a neat moment.
I don't know, that rising lava thing sounds pretty cool though.
It's neat. I like it.
Do you have
another
favorite,
thing?
ability from the game?
Oh, from Super Metroid?
Yeah.
Probably like Screw Attack or I like Grapple Beam.
I don't even know how that would work. Like, do you just throw screws at people or what?
Well, you know Samus's up B in Smash?
Yeah.
He's doing a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, earlier when I said Screw Attack, he asked you if you got it, so I assumed he didn't know what it was.
Maybe I don't. I don't know. Anything could be serious or not serious. You never know. I've mastered the art of deception. I'm a sneaky little boy.
Rob, yeah, I'm so mad you aren't watching. This is fucking great.
Wait, what's happening? Hold on. Are you
stop playing Dread, Rob? Gosh.
Was
so entertaining.
No, hold on.
Dread. I was watching Metroid.
Wait.
Sorry.
Is it over? Did I miss it?
Yes.
Hey gamers, tell me in the comments down below what I missed.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it eventually. Wild. So that you guys, crazy that you guys just have a spot on the channel now, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, assuming you guys actually added everything and put in
that's not what I meant. I meant assuming that like I didn't know if you were going to like use variety content to like pad out the existing time slots.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much you guys have. If you guys don't have a lot, then I might use it as a way to pad out space. But if you guys produce a decent amount of it, I could use it as that, as well as
third day
a third slot. Yeah. I
guess
that'd
be neat.
It all just is just dependent on how much you guys actually produce, you know.
Yeah.
Because like I certainly understand if you guys aren't producing 2 episode a week levels of content.
Right.
Which sounds like not a lot when I say it out loud.
We're both god gamers and god comedians.
God comedians. I like that. Comedy god.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I'm telling
We're
you,
on the
it's
same
comedy
wavelength.
god. That we actually sung that in church the other day. It was crazy. It's weird church songs now they're coming up with. I don't really know much about it. I don't get what the whole deal is. Something comedy god. Do you know what it is? New comedy god running around. That isn't Loki.
Because Loki was the previous comedy god.
Back before Jesus, that jokester. I mean, comedy god right there. So how's the actual gameplay going, Samantha?
Are you still not watching?
I'm watching Shred.
You're not watching Dread. He's not streaming it to Discord.
I'm watching
I can't
Metroid.
Be the only one. I can't be the only one that's watching.
I just don't want to spoil the series for when.
We're ending the episode.
What?
That's a good episode end.
You know, one of my favorite things that I think about sometimes is the fact that the episode 5 of the Mario playthrough, where Jacob is here is in it instead of you, Rob. Truly, there is no cultural context to explain what is happening in that video. Like, that video is like one of the biggest pranks or anything on the channel, and truly it's like anyone could see that and not get it at all.
Just the way God intended.
That's how God intended it. God was like, I hate cultural context. God hates context.
Me when I'm reading the Book of Jonah.
Yeah, Rob. I love that.
Usually when I do the Bible equivalent of weaving out, it's when I'm in a conversation with either you or Sam. I probably should not have done it on camera.
No problem. I think that's great. What do you want to say about the Book of Jonah?
Do you ever think about how Jonah never actually learns his lesson, and then the Book of Jonah never says whether he dies or not? It just ends with him out in the desert.
Do you think he dies?
I don't know what I obviously I would like to think that he got it and moved on, but part of me wonders if the reason that it is omitted is because he never gets it and just died like a bitch.
How he lived.
True.
Inside of a whale? Are we talking about the same guy?
Yeah, we are.
Died how he lived, inside of a whale. That's not true. Factually, that is not where he died. Don't you love the Bible, Samantha?
Well, actually, based on my statement earlier, We have no proof of where Jonah died because it's not recorded. He could have died in a whale. Would have been a wacky coincidence. Would be a real Dr. Doofenshmirtz moment. If I had a nickel for every time I got swallowed by a whale, I would have 2 nickels.
It's not a lot, and I don't know what the hell a nickel is because I live in whatever BC. But
if I had a denarius for every time I was swallowed by a whale or a big fish, my bad.
So
some Adventists get real pissy about that distinction.
that's fair. Whales aren't fish.
Iconically not fish.
Do you think that they had that distinction back then, back in the day?
Well, the here's where we get into my friend Dani's crackpot theory. For the viewers at home, not Dani from the channel, different Dani. He apparently the Hebrew word for death is also the Hebrew word for big fish, and so he thinks that Jonah died and was resurrected from the dead. And that he wasn't actually swallowed by a physical fish.
I mean, those are 2 really weird words to mean the same, to have the same word meaning them.
I don't know. We have cock and cock for penis and a bird.
You know what?
Not too far fetched.
You know what? You're completely correct. That's just true. That's a funny theory. I would like also to think if people get pissy about the distinction between a whale and a fish, guess what? The distinction between a whale and a fish wouldn't come till thousands of years later.
I'm sure that whoever the fuck who recorded Jonah didn't know what the fuck a whale was.
Yeah, well, does God distinguish between mammals and fish? I don't think so. I think the idea of a mammal is a fully human-made construct.
Now we're picking.
Yeah, actually, that sounds about right.
So, why, and it was made historically relatively recently. So, back then, they probably would have considered whales to be a big fish. What else would they have thought it to be? They would have been like, no, it breathes air, so it's obviously a mammal, not a big fish.
It's a giraffe.
The distinguishing characteristic of a mammal is
It's
well, never mind.
It's yeah, that's fair. I beefed it. Dani beefed it. It's is this no? It's not. It's not the live birth because of the platypus.
Well, I think that's a few things. I don't know.
It's like hair, live birth, milk.
Distinctions are stupid. We made them up.
Humans made up a lot of things. You know, like science, math, Santa Claus.
Math is the big, this is a human construct thing that I referenced.
Lincoln.
We did invent Abraham Lincoln in the sense that Abraham Lincoln was born to a human being.
You say that like he's Jesus Christ.
No, I stand by my statement. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go to bed pretty soon.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out.
What?
I think we recorded some good videos here, though.
We did.
Well, actually, you know what? You know what I'll say? Folks, are you still recording?
No.
It's fine. I'll do it anyway, folks. Make sure to check out. All right, I gave you some time to come up with the name.
What?
Make out to check out what a new show that's going to be showing up on the DACAPA YouTube channel every once in a while.
You're
Produced
saying
by
this to just Rob and Dani.
Rob
I think
and
that's
Samantha.
the joke.
It's called what?
Just wanted to make sure.
It's a neat show. I'm sure it's going to be a neat show. They're working on it. But you guys make sure to check it out. This is your sneak preview of the show. Besides that,
Yeah.
remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And, I mean, that's a wrap.
That's the closest thing to an outro one of these videos has ever had. And it wasn't even on camera.
It wasn't. You guys are going to be doing this whole new show, right?
Yeah. Well, the Boat and Rob's variety.
Boat and Rob's Variety Hour. What a good name.
Mm-hmm.
What a good name. Is that the fight? Where you guys are going with that?
Yeah, I asked them about it when you brought up the possibility that it might be Sam and Rob's Variety Hour. I asked, "Hey, do you want to change the name?" And they said, "I don't care." I said, "Okay, you sure? Because now's the time to change it." And they said, "No."
Okay, cool. Yeah, you should make like a logo for that.
I was holding off until I knew what our branding was. But I'm definitely going to start working on thumbnails and logos and potentially like maybe an opening cutscene.
An opening cutscene. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, if you need any help, let me know.
All right, I would appreciate it. The majority of the help I'm going to need, because like I've got ideas for the cutscene. I just need like music. I need like a catchy opening theme that's like maybe 15, 20 seconds long. A little jingle to go with what is happening on screen. The idea that I want to have is like the video starts with like your standard opening stinger, and then it hard cuts to like a screen, like a white screen, and on one end is my channel icon, and on the other end is Sam's channel icon, and the channel icon like spins real fast and blurs into like a stick figure or an animated character styled after the channel icon, and then Sam spins and does the same thing, and then we run at each other, slide past each other, and do a little gesture towards each other, and in between us, the whole screen goes black, like the lights went out, and there's just our eyes, and then in like theater lights blaze on, the words Boat and Rob's Variety Hour comes on in the middle of the screen, and then one of the letters goes out, and then that's the end. It would only be like it would be a really quick 10 to 15 second cut.
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 frames, 20 frames per second. And
so I do have a question actually. Because you were originally talking about for that series, doing like a little episode or something. You guys were pitching to me a lot of ideas that you had been having for the series originally, right?
Yeah.
And one of those was having me
Yeah.
in a video.
Yeah. I forgot that that was one of our ideas, and I think maybe if I had remembered that, I wouldn't have told you that we were doing the variety hour, because like at this point now we can't do that.
Because you were gonna have me in a video without me knowing,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
rather rude. It's been a while since we've had a like a prank or something on the channel.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
It was I was really proud of the idea, but as soon as we started listing ideas for videos,
Were you
and
gonna
then I
tell
said
me?
that,
Like, when were you gonna let me know when you sent me the video?
yeah, well, my assumption was that you would proof watch every video,
Hmm.
and so you would. I was going to. I hope I was going to send you our like we were going to have like a test packet of 3 series, and it was going to be Final Fantasy VIII, Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade, and a third game that we were going to record with you. And our working ideas were either Minnesota Cuke and the Coconut Ape, or
Yeah.
uh, Pico 8 Celeste.
Oh yeah, no, we
And
were talking about that. And hey, any of those could still show up on the channel. If anyone's
right,
listening
right.
right now, make sure to check out Bode and Rob's Variety Hour. You could see any one of these multiple amazing ideas.
Yeah.
Gosh, you know, it's there's a small bit of like, obviously when you're like pranking someone like that, I always let like a small bit of pride get the best of me, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and there's a sense of like, well, no, I have to, you know, in the perfect world, I do it in the cleverest way possible. It's the same as my D&D brain, or it's like I have to seed in as many clues to this so that when they finally figure it out, they go, oh dang, oh Billy Bosh me, and they. What, there's a Mike Trap quote about like banging your head with a pan or something. I don't know. Uh, but like, and I think that's always my downfall, as I get so close to just kind of like spoiling things because I wanna
Mhm.
be able to look as clever as possible afterwards.
Mhm. Uh, and like I totally forgot that that was an idea, and so there when we were listing ideas to you, and Sam said I said that that was an idea for a video, and then just as I was realizing it, Sam said it out loud and said, "Well, I guess we can't do that now." And I went, "Oh gosh, dang it!"
Yeah, now I knew. Now I will never respond when you say hello to me, Rob. Never more. It'll be, hey, Danny. I'll be like, frick you, man. You can't get me.
And so I'm kind of because the gimmick of the video was going to be in nowhere do in the video or anywhere is as like a bit would Sam or I ever hint that there was a possibility that we weren't there was something wrong.
I think you guys
Like
should
we
have
wouldn't.
hinted to it. I think if you guys had hinted in some way that, like, that a video is happening or that you were playing a game in the background, I think that would make it even funnier.
Here what the gimmick was going to be like we wouldn't play coy, we wouldn't make any like haha gaming
Yeah, you're
joke,
right. You're right. I'm too
but
smart for that, honestly.
but
I'd just
the
get you guys because of my big brain. Always
but
one step
the
ahead I
joke
am.
the joke was going to be that all the videos titles were going to be like Minnesota Cuke and the Coconut Ape, Episode 1, The Truman Show, Episode 2, The Matrix, Episode 3, and just have like that be the gimmick. So anyone watching it who
Oh
wasn't
my gosh.
either anyone watching the video who wasn't you, me, or Sam would look at it and go, "Why is it named that?"
Yeah, no, that's a great name. So you would have just told me the names?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Because you would have gotten the title on the video file.
Man, those are great ideas. At the end of the one where you guys get me right into the video without me knowing. At the very least, you guys, if you guys weren't gonna be coy, at the very least, what you could have done is like towards the end of the video,
you do an outro.
Yeah, do like,
you
be
there?
Like, hey guys, you know, or just be like, man, you know, I was watching the latest DACAPA video, and I really loved. You know, I really love that you liked how the way that you told the audience to remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And above all, remember, guys, that is a wrap. You know, like, that would have been so funny.
That's such a good idea.
No, like, that would have been such a way to, like, pull the wool over my eyes.